All right, now the next big thing that I see that's a problem is people don't actually crate train. So they might bring the dog home and they'll throw the treats in and lure the dog in, and throw the treats out and lure the dog out, and go, whoa, look at me, I've crate trained my puppy. And they may have even done the right thing and shut the door from day one and gone, look at me, I've crate trained my puppy, and then they chuck the puppy in there over night time, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I do the same. First night, every dog, crate. No ifs, no buts, no exceptions. And that's where they stay all night except for potty, and I don't care how much they scream. But then they go to work and the dog goes in the crate. When they come home, the dog comes out. And then they go to bed and the dog goes in. When they get up, the dog comes out. When they go to work, the dog goes in. And that is crate training for some people. But it's not. What you're actually doing is making the crate negative. You're making the experience negative, because all that's happening, all the dog sees is this equals alone for long, long periods of time. You go to bed, it's 8 hours. The dog's alone for 8 hours. You go to work, the dog's alone for 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. Sometimes longer for some people. This becomes a negative. It's not crate training. All right? Crate training is about teaching your dog to be able to be in one of these for extended periods of time. That's what crate training is. Sticking your dog in a crate and going to bed, getting up, sticking your dog in a crate, going to work is not crate training. Crate training is about getting to the point that you can do that and that your dog is happy and anxiety free. And that is the difference. When you simply stick your dog in a crate to go to bed, in a crate to go to work, and that's it, it is punishment. And again, not always. There will be people that say, well, I did that, my dog's fine. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but a lot of people don't know because they're not there and they never check. And yes, sometimes it works out. Some dogs just get it and they're absolutely fine, but a lot don't. And once you screw this up, once you create these anxieties, you've broken that dog. And sometimes it's for life. And the only thing you have is a lifetime management plan to try and make life better for your dog. And that can include drugging it out for the rest of its life. If you do it right from day one, you don't have these issues. You can screw your dog up other ways, but it won't be through poor crate training. And I'm not trying to sound harsh, but this is a problem where people try to take shortcuts. And I get it, it's hard. Puppies take a lot of work. Dogs take a lot of work when it comes to training, but there are not shortcuts. If you've taken one and you've got away with it, you're lucky. Most people that take a shortcut end up with problems. So putting your dog in here, even if you do the initial introduction, putting your dog in here so you can go to bed, putting your dog in here so you can go to work is not crate training. What it is a gateway to building anxieties into a dog, and a dog with anxiety is cruel. If you've ever suffered depression yourself, if you've ever suffered anxiety or known somebody that has, you know in us humans how cruel that is. It's a horribly cruel disease to us, and we have the ability to comprehend, to understand complex emotions. A dog doesn't. So a dog, even with mild anxiety, is in a mental torturing prison, and they are being tortured every moment of every day. They can't comprehend it. They can't understand it. They just feel the pain. And it's really important, and it's on us. It's always on us to avoid that. It is our job to build well-rounded, confident, independent dogs. And so crate training properly is so essential, because it is one of the major things that creates problems when it's not done correctly. So how do you avoid it? You crate train. Crate training, remember, is about getting to this point where you can stick a dog in one of these, be anxiety-free and happy for periods of time. This is the end result of crate training. It isn't crate training. So 1 or 2 formal lessons a day generally isn't enough. It needs to be a lifestyle. And that's what crate training is. 1 or 2 formal sessions gets you working on a few things. But it needs to be a lifestyle. You go to have a shower, crate your dog. You go to answer the door, crate your dog. You go to answer the phone, crate your dog. You sit down to have a cup of coffee, crate the dog. You sit down to have a meal, crate the dog. You go to get dressed, crate the dog. You go to get mail, crate the dog. You go to duck out the back or outside for a moment, crate the dog. It becomes a lifestyle, and the dog never knows when or for how long it's been crated. So it doesn't have those same anxieties, because you're always coming back. You crate it where you go to get dressed, you come back in 10 minutes. They'll go, oh, that wasn't so bad. They're back. You crate the dog while you have a phone call, you may be back in 2 minutes, and the dog's getting all worked up, and there you are back again, and the dog goes, oh, what the hell, that wasn't so bad, was it? You crate the dog where you go down to the shop, and you're an hour, and the dog comes back, and it's longer, and the dog's might be worked up, but oh, you're back, and it's still not too long. And a shower might be 15, 30 minutes. The mail might be a minute. The door might be a minute. It might be 5 minutes. It might be 10 minutes. A phone call, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 10 minutes. It always changes. You go and put the kettle on. You come back in. You mightn't pay any attention to the dog. It's still in the crate, but you've ducked out. You've come back in. 30 seconds. Kettle boils. You go back out. You make your coffee or steep your cup of tea. You might come back in. A minute. You might go back out and have that coffee in the kitchen while you read a book or do some work or whatever it might be. 15 minutes, you come back in. And they're all short training sessions. None of them are formal. They're just part of life. And that's what crate training is. It's just a way. And that's how it should be. And training in general is the same. If you just teach your dog to sit in a couple of formal sessions, it can take forever, or it will break down every time there are distractions because it's so much harder. But if you teach your dog to auto-sit every time you come to a door, every time you stop, that dog auto-sits hundreds of times in a day. I'll stack up a puppy that I've taught to auto-sit while I'm wandering around for a week against somebody that has just done formal sits for a month or 2. Mia hasn't been taught a formal sit, but she'll sit and stay with massive distractions. And it's about lifetime management. Every moment is an opportunity to train your dog. And training should be training without training. Dogs learn so well from that. Just make it a lifestyle. It's really important that your dog is anxiety-free in a crate. And these things that I've talked about are some of the best ways of ensuring that happens. I hope that helps. We'll see you in the next one.